What up, generals? It's B2 Conflict of Nations. We're going to talk about air units a little bit. I don't have a lot of them on the board, but I do have enough to talk about them and kind of show you some options, so stay tuned. What's up, generals? B2, and look, I just wanted to highlight my Canada game, not because I'm doing great in it. I mean, you guys saw the intro. I'm fourth in a coalition of four, so but I am playing Canada. I only started with 5 cities, blah blah blah. I should have annexed 2 or 3 earlier, and I didn't. I may still, because we've got so much more fighting to do in here. But anyway, I digress. The purpose of this video is to talk about just an intro to air units. Like, I'm not going to get detailed into. I'm not going to get detailed. Oh, they coming for us. I was going to actually send these guys to attack. I think I'm just going to pull them back to Madrid. Get them back. Let's patrol them over here. No, let's ferry them over here. I don't want them to fly back tonight later on when they run out of fuel. So here's the deal. This guy's got 2 big stacks rolling. I did hit this stack with a missile earlier, so it's softened up a little bit. I don't know that, but he's just bombing from long distance, and U.S. just doesn't. They're just not moving, so they're probably going to lose that stack of 7. I hate it for them. They are marching on us here, and I'm okay with that. Just to show you the map, we have pretty much come down and just done some pretty big damage down here. Got Mozambique pushed through the end, which is going to allow my boy here, Mexico, to come on and sail on over. They do have a big harbor here. Romania and Poland has some big ground stacks, so we're going to probably lose a little bit of this ground the next day, and that's okay. We rolled Spain like 2 days ago and then rolled through France. It was too easy. Oh no, cancel transport wing, cancel. I always misclick on the map. I'll fly them down to there. No big deal. So we did roll into here and smash Glasgow, so UK is going to have a little bit of a struggle there rebuilding at least one of his towns, which puts him at a hard time of getting some of his higher level units out. We love that. So anyway, the way I've been using air in this game, if you look at what I've researched, right? So I was talking about boats with somebody. I didn't research anything on the ground except for the motorized unit. It's a favorite of mine, and I'll tell you why I like them as one of my top 5 units, because of this defense and also the modifier in the towns of plus 25%. I've talked about that before. That's going to give you a 10, and 5 of these guys is a 50. It gives you time to react. If your town has an airport in it, you can fly units in. It's just kind of an overall good unit. The only way that I don't take that is if I decide, like, I'm going to play something with naval, then I come down here on the naval infantry line and I research that, because they attack at an 11. They only defend at a 6, so even with a 25% bonus, what's that, like a 1.5? So they're going to 7.5 on defense. But look at this punch power, and look at the bonuses they get in urban. They get a 50% bonus. So an 11 plus a 50% is going to be, what's that, 5.5? It's going to be 16.5 on an offense. And then they're going to have suburban, which is a lot around the towns. They're coming in another 50. Now the problem is if you get them into mountains or jungle, they start to lose, and that's okay. You just got to know where you're fighting and who you're fighting, right? I think that's probably so overlooked in the game. So because I'm running really heavy infantry, you would expect to have like some sort of a tank, and I got nothing. I have 0 ground units. The reason why is because I'm going to rely on the punch power from my air units, and I'm going to show you that. I did start THAAD. I regretted it. I should have never done that. I should have just ran SAMs. I don't know why. I don't know why I go THAAD sometimes. 3 SAMs in a forward group, just kind of strafing behind. Is going to shoot anything. 3 SAMs is pretty powerful. They're going to have to stagger missiles in at you, and I'm going to talk about staggering missiles here in a little bit. Then if you continue on the research, I did go bombers, and I've got that research with bunker busting ordnance. Like, if you get a good shot on a city, it's just GG, right? So where is it at on here? NBC protection as well. But but then I started to look at the naval patrol craft as a viable way to defend, but also because they do have, watch, you're going to love this. At the top level, they're going to have the ability to shoot 2 cruise missiles per naval patrol craft. Now that's important because most aircraft only shoot one, and it's going to give you the ability to lock and load, right? So we're going to talk about cruise missiles too, and we're going to talk about that because it's really, you're going to use them heavily when you get into a game where you're using aircraft heavy, right? So then if we look, those are the two that I use on there. I debated on a lot of stuff. You could tell because I started getting to go air superiority to rule the skies, but then as I came down to strike, I realized that this is a really, really strong stealth fighter unit. It allows you to go over countries without declaring war when you penetrate foreign airspace, so you can get some. If they don't have AA or anything that detects stealth, you can get in and get some intel on there before you attack. It's really, really super handy, right? So then this one also has the ability to shoot a cruise missile, but it only, like I said, one on the missile capacity. But look at how hard it hits soft targets at an 11. That's just a really good. I mean, it's just a really good, solid number, and it hits hard targets at an 11. The problem is it's just mediocre against these guys here, right? So the defense rating is pretty high on choppers, so you can use the stealth to fight down, but you don't want to go a 5-stack stealth versus a 5-pack air superiority. It's just, you would run into a buzzsaw. These guys hit 18. Yeah, 18 here. And they can also shoot one missile right at top units. So you're going to get a missile right in your face if you're not paying attention. Be careful how you use them on patrol, and be even more careful about when you have them on the ground and where you have them on the ground out. When you look at flight times, plan them around your play times so that you're going to be playing right as those units are coming in or getting close to, right? So if you look at the airport, you can fly them in and patrol them here, and then you only have an hour flight over to here, right? So if it's 10 o'clock at night, you're not playing again until 8 in the morning. You can patrol them here and then be ready to attack through, but you don't want to get them too close because they'll fly an air superiority stack in, buzz you, and then you're going to wake up to a bunch of red on your screen, right? So then I take a look and I say, what kind of stack do I run? How would I make the most out of this, right? So this is what I've got right here, only because it's just all that I have, right? I've got 3 stealth, a strike, and then an air superiority. I've got them bundled because I don't want to leave them out as singles. If they're going to have to defend, I want them to defend all at once and put a big hit on somebody, right? If they're going to attack, I want them to attack all at once. But this stack here has 5 SAMs level 2. I just can't compete with that. They're going to hit me at an 8.5. I'd lose 2.5 planes just on the first run. Totally not worth, right? Now, what it would be worth is me sliding up in there with about 3 missiles tomorrow and staggering them about 3 to 5 minutes apart, which would give me a huge hit on those guys, right? So the first one would get shot down, the second one would go, the third one will get shot down because their AA fires every 10 minutes. So you're going to want to fire 4, or you're going to only want to do 2. Don't do an odd number on there. Now, what I could do is take this here and roll after this guy, but I think what he's going to do is try to edge close enough to get his AA to cover this airbase here, try to snipe down a couple of us. But without any defending units here, you can tell that I'm just going to take these guys, and I've got them set to ferry down to here anyway, right? So I'm going to pull them back far enough that I can re-engage once all these troops land, and I've got more coming across. I've actually got, who is this coming across? Yeah, so I got a couple of guys coming. I'm gonna set all these guys to Madrid, to be honest. Yeah, there we go. So they're all coming to Madrid now. I don't want to fly into Milan and just get hammered. What I'll do is I'll re-engage with a really big stack on them at about a 10 stack, because if you can tell on here, they're not leveled up. The only really big level he's got is this 2 right here. He's got a radar, which this is why I have this big circle around here, but his AA is not going to cover all the way out. So I think if I zoom in, well, his AA's covering that second ring right there. So he'd be able to shoot down anything in there. And as you can see, he's going to get closer and closer. I think that, yeah, he's going to end right here. He won't quite see the Milan, but that's okay. So what I'll do is I've got some missiles cooking. I've got 2 on here. I'm going to fire 2 out, which is going to take a big dent in this stack. He's not hurt at all. So he's got 254 hit points. I'm just not going to be able to take that much out, and I'm going to follow it with a run on my with my airplane. So I'm going to take and shoot a missile, and I'm going to take and shoot another missile, and then my plane should come in right after that cruise missile. So the other plan that I had was to bomb Podge right here because they have a pretty big harbor, a naval base. But I flew my stealth bomber over there and got shot down. So he's either got like some naval vessels here or a bunch of like theater defense or something that's going to pick up a stealth unit and shoot it down. The last play that I'm using, and I just started researching this, is the naval patrol aircraft. Now, I like these guys, and I like them for a couple of reasons. I mean, when you punch in here and you look at this, this is one of the only planes that's going to be able to fire 2 missiles each time. They do that because you're going to have to fight military. You're only going to get a 14 attack on here, but you don't have to, you're going to get a 0 defense. So if an air superiority stat comes in, they're just going to wipe you clean, man. Every shot's going to be, every shot by every air superiority will be 1 dead naval patrol aircraft. And so you're going to have to launch missiles in defense and offense, right? Stack of jets starts coming at you, you better hit them with a missile right in the face. I wish you could actually program that to the game to actually do that. But these guys are going to detect sonar, they're going to get subs, they're going to see pretty good signatures. It's a low signature size, but no big deal. I mean, not using them, but to find subs and to shoot at stuff anyway. So look at this naval AWACS. Yeah. So anyway, I hope that's a good start at looking at some of the aircraft for you guys. I'm going to do a more in-depth probably later on in the week at this game because at the rate that it's going, we've got a lot of territory to take. If I get another week in here, it's going to enable me to produce some more stuff. And you can tell I'm just not producing enough electronics you know, to be able to keep up with the demand of the missiles, right? So so let's take a look at the missiles. If you're going to look at cruise missiles here, I'm at the 4th level, and so here's the way it works. Any of these guided missile programs, these just regulars, are going to be conventional, right? And it'll show you, you take 2 to build right here. They hit hard targets 55, but, you know, keep in mind that they're going to also hit soft targets at 15. They're going to hit ships at 40, so they're pretty deadly overall, even at the lowest level. If I stepped them up to cruise missiles, you're going to see the damage go up on soft and the damage go down on hard targets, and that's okay. Most people are going to have more troops than they are tanks, but you're going to be able to do some damage on those air superiority and a stack of choppers, not so much on there. If I go to the next level and, you know, to produce the cruise, it's going to take 2 chemicals to produce a chemical cruise. So keep that in mind. And then as you go up, it's also 2 in the nuclear. But I want you to take a look at these nuclear numbers, 75 all the way across. Now, if you produce this cruise missile and get it up high enough, you can also produce a cruise missile launcher, right? Now, it can fire every 8 hours, which is nice, which means you can do 3 a day. But look at the numbers. Not a huge number on there, right? But it depends on if you're shooting a nuke or not, right? So if you shoot the nuclear, now if I go to ballistic or ICBMs, right, and I look at an ICBM and I go look at the missile launcher, watch these numbers. Still not, that's the actual missile launcher. But if you do the ICBM, look at that 475, you get hit by one of these, you're going to feel it. 220 on population. It's just a city killer, man. But it takes 5 nuclear bombs to hit one of those off. So you don't want it shot down. Hopefully that gives you a little bit of run on air superiority and missiles. If you have any more questions, hit me up in the comments. See ya.